All right, everybody. Welcome back into another episode of the Lesko Podcast. Joined by Brett Cable once again to talk Penn State football. Letterman are back. We're going to talk about that. That's a pretty big thing to us, especially me, because it's a very important aspect of our history is the Letterman and them being involved for several reasons. Brett, how you doing tonight?
Good. What's up, everybody?
Yeah, so Brett and I have been following it. The Lettermen are back, which is awesome. It's good to see them back and involved and being welcomed. It's a shame that they weren't welcomed more before, but they weren't. It is what it is. We're on to a new coaching regime, thankfully. So, Brett, they were here this weekend, and there was a lot of mixed takes, if you will. Landon talked about it. I think it was last night. He did an episode on it with Chris Buchanani. And he was saying how the comments that they got were mainly mixed. So, like, they got people that were saying, you know, Franklin never had the Letterman back. They were welcome back. There was no history up in the Lash building. There was all kinds of stuff. So we both watched it, and it was a good video, of course, that Landon did. He always does good work. So we're going to kind of give our piece on it, our takes on what we think kind of happened from before till now. So, Brett, So, Brett, go ahead. You kind of already. I mean, we did talk about it, but what do you think about the Letterman coming back? I mean, as someone like you who kind of didn't start watching until 2013, you know, all you really knew was Franklin in terms of a coach. Some history, but that's not really your forte. That's more my forte.
Yeah.
So what do you think about the Letterman coming back? I mean, I know you understand, especially like talking to me and stuff about it, like how important it is. So
Yeah. I mean, it's very important. Franklin, to do the whole comparison from what we've been told and from what previous players have talked about is, some Letterman would ask to come back and visit, and Franklin would be like, "Sure, the door's open," but like Franklin did not embrace the players. He didn't, he might have had a player or two come speak every now and then for 5-10 minutes, and that was it. They didn't actually come up for like the whole day and like hang out with the team. And from my understanding, Franklin, I mean, he didn't have no pictures up of Joe were in the Lash building. There was nothing of that nature that had to do with that. And then whenever he was showing tape to recruits and stuff like that, he would only show like 2014 on, which I guess on his defense for that is, these are the teams that I've coached, so I understand that aspect. But to show Penn State as a whole, they're not getting the whole picture. The traditions and the players that played before the ones that came in when he was there, it means a lot. It's the legacy, the legends that have played at Penn State. It means everything, right? Because the connections that they have with other Lettermen, previous Lettermen, future Lettermen, all of them. So from what it's looking like already, and the first presser that Matt Campbell ever did with Penn State was, the tradition and, the people who played before us, right? Like that's very important, and we're going to embrace it. he wasn't lying. I mean, he was telling the truth off the gate. Ever since Matt Campbell got hired, he started calling, everybody. And Taylor Mauser was called, what's his name? Kyle Brady. He called all the previous tight ends. So we got to get you to come up and talk to the tight end room. And Matt Campbell, Kajana Carter, all those guys. They all came up, and yeah, and it's not just a 1 day thing. Like they're coming up all the time now, and it's only been a couple months, and they came. It looks like they've came more in a couple months than they did at Franklin's tenure the whole time he was there. So not just saying, "Hey, the door's open," but hey, we want you to come. We want you to talk to the team. We want you to tell them what your experience was at Penn State and to really just tell your story, right? So that's very important. And this is just the beginning. Like this is going to continue a trend of Letterman being closer to the program, and then also being the bigger donors are going to want to put money into the pot now, right? They're going to want to mix up some money into the NIL, and because they didn't like Franklin, they didn't want to contribute to that. So now that Matt
Right.
Campbell's there, they can contribute, and yeah,
Yeah. So obviously, those guys coming back is very important um, for several reasons. One of them being the fact that, first of all, we talk about NIL, we talk about the importance of uh, support from donors. I mean, at the end of the day, when you have lettermen that we have as many lettermen as we do at Penn State, and as good as they've been. So to go through stats with when Joe was there, for example, Joe Paterno had over 300 NFL draft picks in his 46-year tenure. First round picks, 33. Top picks, for example, 94. They had number 1, 5, and 10. They had number 1 and number 2 in 2000. Larry Johnson was a first rounder. Levi Brown was a first rounder. Paul Posluszny was a second rounder. I mean, tons and tons of top draft picks came from Penn State throughout Joe's tenure, but 300 NFL draft picks. Okay. So what does that mean? That means there was a lot of good football players that came through Penn State, and not just because they were good or they were talented or whatever it is. It's because, well, they had a great coach, and he changed tons and tons of lives for many young men throughout his coaching tenure. When you're the good at football and you play at a place as good as Penn State, Chris Buchanani said it best last night. He said, a lot of these guys, when they came to Penn State, they were the man on campus. Most of these guys are when they're playing football at Penn State. They're the big men on campus. Some of them came from small towns, so they're the man where they came from. They probably got streets named after them, some of them, especially if they were like one of the only guys that ever played at Penn State. I mean, even if they didn't play much at Penn State, they're still on the team. They played for Joe Paterno. That's what drew me to try out there was I wanted to play for Joe Paterno. So when you have that many players, that many draft picks, that leads to, first and foremost, you're making money in the NFL. You're building connections. You're building a reputation, which in most cases was good for Penn State guys. Those connections, that money leads to a bit of an ego, but it also leads to you're kind of planting seeds. You kind of branching out and meeting certain people. And a lot of those people know people, and a lot of those people have a lot of money. So not only do our lettermen, most of them, probably successful in whatever they're doing, but they know people that have money. There's a lot of connections at Penn State. It's a very powerful place. Penn State football is a very powerful thing. So first and foremost, for the money side, you want to welcome these lettermen in because, again, bit of an ego there. Got to stroke the ego a little bit. Franklin's ego was so big that he couldn't possibly have the energy to stroke anyone else's ego. He had to stroke his own 24/7. That's how he was. So, yes, they were welcome, but Stephon Morris said it on Chris Buchanani's radio show the other night. And Chris said, I didn't even pull it out of him. He just came right out and said it. You had to jump through a lot of hoops to come back to Penn State, which is insane. And they didn't feel real welcome. Didn't feel like they were, there was open arms or there was a warm embrace when they came to visit. So that certainly hurt our NIL, our funding, our support 100%.
Yep.
There's certain people, for example, like OJ McDuffie, he said, if they don't hire Terry Smith, then we're done with Penn State football. Okay. I mean, if you want to do that, OJ, fine. That's on you, man. But you're hurting the kids the same way the NCAA did in 2011 by giving us sanctions. There was no point to giving the current team sanctions. They had nothing to do with any of that. But they did. So do I think OJ is going to support Penn State? Yeah. But to say that from someone like him, I had an issue with for sure. As someone who respects OJ McDuffie, someone who knows how good he was, someone that followed his career as best I could. I mean, I was young, but he played in the NFL. He's a first-round pick. For someone like him to say that was pretty disappointing, but it is what it is. We move on. And I think there was a bit of animosity there because someone like him was not really welcome back, truly. But what else comes with Letterman being welcome back is these guys are the definition of college football players. Okay. Not only did they play here, most of them had success. They went on to the NFL, whatever it was. They went on to have successful businesses, successful careers. They bring so much knowledge to these young kids. These guys are kids. These guys are kids. They're just think about what you were doing at 19, 18, 20, 21, 22. You absolutely did not have the right mindset to conquer the world. So these guys coming back really gives them a valuable insight to what does it mean to play at Penn State? What does it mean to overcome adversity to be successful? What does it mean to fight through the hard times and overcome them to be successful? Matt Campbell said it himself. You get a lot of knowledge, you get a lot of exposure to what they went through, their life experience. 94, okay? That picture right there. That's an iconic photo. From left to right, it was the number 1 pick in 95, number 5 pick in 95, number 10 pick in 95. Bengals, Panthers, Jets. Okay? That was one of the best college football teams to ever take the field in all of college football. They averaged 47 points a game. They got snubbed out of the national title, whatever. They're the best team to never win a national title. They would have gone on and beat the piss out of Nebraska. The Onwar Phillips would have had like 25 rushing yards, as good as he was. Tom Osborne would have left the field crying with his tail between his legs. Okay, that's one of the best teams of all time. These guys know how to win, all right? They know how to win big games. They beat the piss out of Ohio State that year. They beat Michigan on the road. I think they beat Ohio State 63-14. Kajana Carter had 4 touchdowns and like 200 some, 300 some yards rushing. Those guys know how to win big games. So when you have an ego and you continuously lose to Ohio State, continuously lose to Michigan, what are you going to do? Bring in lettermen that say, hey, this is how we did it. What are you going to do? Listen to them? Absolutely not.
Yep.
Franklin couldn't stand these lettermen coming back. Kerry Collins going up in front of the quarterback saying, hey, this is how you play quarterback better. That would never happen under Franklin because his ego was too big. When you have a coach like Matt Campbell and he welcomes these guys back, Kerry Collins, who had a long NFL career, was on a very good Chargers team late in his career. They were like 15-1, got a first-round bye. 2008, I think it was. That was the quarterback of the Chargers at the time, San Diego Chargers. That was Kerry Collins.
Mm-hmm.
In his 13th year in the NFL. Okay, he was good.
Mm-hmm.
So when Kerry Collins comes back, he talks to the quarterback, says, hey, this is how I was good. This is what we did. This is what we did here. This is what we did there. Those guys are going to learn from it. It takes a coach with some humility to allow a letterman to come in and speak. Kajana Carter, first overall pick in the NFL draft, second in the Heisman voting. Hey, this is how I played running back. This is how I saw the field. Cal Brady, a leader, a great tight end, talking to the tight ends. Hey, this is what I did on this route. This is how I blocked. This is how I did this. This is how I did that. That's how I became the 10th pick in the NFL draft as a tight end, ahead of Warren Sapp, even though he was having whatever issues he was having at the time. That guy's a clown. I can't stand Warren Sapp. But
good player, but yeah.
Yeah, he's an absolute clown, dude. But Kyle Brady, 10th overall pick, has a tight end. These guys get knowledge, and this program is going to get support. That's what you have to do, okay? Penn State is so rich with history and tradition, and it was that way for a long time. All right? You know, you saw the differences. O'Brien came in, they put names on the jerseys. I liked Bill O'Brien. I didn't necessarily have an issue with the names, but that changed. Franklin came in. They took, first of all, the whole letterman thing, what people were saying to Landon when he was talking about it on his show, regardless of what people were saying, first and foremost for me, you keep the history out of Lash Building. That is absolutely shameful. Yeah. No reminiscence of Joe Paterno. He built Penn State. Okay. Yep. Penn State football sure as heck did not start when Franklin got there. Okay. That's an absolute joke. And, you know, he said that he changed and I'm a different James Franklin for you Penn State guys. He makes reestablished in 2026. So there was a guy by the name of Frank Beamer who was 10 times the coach you'll ever be. He already established Virginia Tech long before you were there, Franklin. Okay. So he hasn't changed. And that was the same attitude he had at Penn State. Penn State football started in 2014. No, it didn't. But that was his approach. So now that we have a new coach, he's embracing the letterman. He's bringing them back. They're going to build connections. They're going to build relationships. They're going to compile a ton of money, a ton of support, and these players are going to get invaluable knowledge. Something way more valuable than any amount of money is building a relationship, learning from someone, being a part of a good roster and a good staff, playing for a good staff. That's way more valuable than today's game, going into the portal, giving a guy $3 million or giving a high school kid so much money, this and that. Sure, you can do that, but you're not going to always have the most camaraderie of your teammates as you could if you build it through relationships, you build it through high school like Penn State's always done. So it's very valuable to bring these guys back. It's very valuable to have them speak to the team, to have them feel welcome. Todd Blackledge talked about it. Kyle Brady talked about it. Shane Conlon talked about it. Kajana Carter talked about it. Kerry Collins talked about it. They feel welcome back. All right. So regardless of what the whole whatever BS it was before, where, oh yeah, they're welcome back, but you're going to have to jump through 25 hoops to get here. The fact that there wasn't any history in Lash Building tells me all I need to hear. Now it's back, and the Lettermen are being welcomed back. Everything that is going on right now should bring all of you diehard fans extreme happiness, because that's where we're at now. So it's going to be done right. It's going to be done slow and right. It doesn't mean there's not intensity, but it's going to be done in a way he's respecting the past and involving the past while building the future the right way. So it means everything to me that these Lettermen are welcome back. It means everything to me that all three of these guys right here, Kajana Carter, Kerry Collins, Kyle Brady, are back in their Letterman jackets taking a photo like that. That is history, guys. Okay? You're a space nerd, whatever you are. Landing on the moon. Larry, what was his name? Neil Armstrong.
Yeah.
All right. That's historic, right? For America. This is historic for Penn State football, having these guys back, taking a photo like that. That is extremely historic for Penn State football.
And ironically enough, the moon stuff's going on right now too. So they're doing another trip. So that's funny.
Exactly.
Yep. And Todd Blackledge was here a couple weeks ago too, and to touch on that, like obviously he was before these guys, but he was talking about how he would come and announce a game and everything and stop in, but he wasn't invited back like he was a couple weeks ago, and he got to spend some time with other Lettermen too. I forget their names. We have videos from past ones, but yeah, there were a bunch of guys that came with him that day, and they celebrated just like they did this past weekend. So, and then you got recruits on campus, or recruits get to meet them too. Like that's the legacy, man. It's fantastic.
I mean, Landon said, like, did I care necessarily that, like we're Letterman and that Letterman were there and they're saying hi and stuff like that? He's like, no, not really. He's like, I'm focused on my tenure and, but he's like, it's not about right now. It's about building that relationship for the future. That's what it's all about.
Yep.
And Landon put it really good too. He said, Frank, the previous coach, Franklin, it's like a divorce basically, where sometimes it's got to come up for comparison.
Yep.
Brett knows I was very upset about everything that happened, and I got emotional, and I still kind of do. There's still stuff that it's just like, man, why didn't they listen to me? But obviously they're not going to. But
mascot.
I've been saying it. There he is. So, yeah, very good to see him back. But this is some of the posts that they put up.
And dude, Will Menzel, guys, we'll talk about. But Will Menzel he's the number one quarterback in the class for 2027, according to On3. Mm-hmm. He was here this weekend, so he was here at the same time, and he stayed an extra day because instead of going to Florida, he stayed an extra day because Florida had a QB commit that day. So he was like, well, I'm just going to stay at Penn State and hang out. So
Will Menzel, here's the greatest quarterback to ever play at Penn State, Kerry Collins. How you doing?
Yep. Yeah, absolutely, man. Shake hands with him.
I got to scratch my nose. It's like a judge machine. Yeah, tuck it away, baby.
Kyle Brady's still huge.
Lines up a tailback, superb receiver.
What's that?
Kyle Brady's still huge, too. Look at him.
Off of fake Collins, and he's got his tight end, Brady. Brady running free, and Brady to the 41.
There's a fake and a bootleg to the right by Kerry Collins. Throws complete to Brady. Brady into the end zone. Touchdown, Kyle Brady.
Excellent.
Yep.
Excellent defense. That was Bobby Ingram there, number 10.
Yep, Bobby Ingram's a beast.
So they invited back, I think it was 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s, 2010s. Yep. I think the 2000s are here this weekend or something like that. I don't know if they're doing a weekend by weekend thing.
It's fantastic. I love it, man.
What's that?
It's just fantastic how they're doing it, like each weekend.
It means the world to us, honestly. I mean, the fact that they've welcomed us back here and really embraced everything that we represent as the former players, and clearly they're embracing the traditions, the sense of honor, and just everything we built here, the foundation. It's clearly a sense of like, hey, this matters. We want these guys to know about it, and this matters to us. You guys are welcome here anytime, so it's music to our ears. Very, very appreciative of Coach Campbell. It's been a real honor and treat to come back here, and really appreciate the fact that he wants to bring guys from different eras back and talk about our experience here. And
Brett, one thing I notice, these guys are freaking massive, man.
Yeah.
Look how big, bro. He's a quarterback. Like, he's huge.
He actually looks like he. Well, so Kerry Collins, like he's got weight on, but it looks like he shrunk. Like he looked like he was. Yeah. He probably shrunk. Kyle Brady's the same size, but
dude, he
like height wise,
he could still throw the ball 100%.
Oh,
if
100%.
Hey, Kerry, go out and throw some routes to receivers. He's good.
What it means to be a Penn State Nittany Lion. So
to come over here, be able to take this place over the next level, and to see what.
Brett, you know who that is, right?
Yep, Joe Jaravicious. His daughter played volleyball here. Yeah.
What he's doing, inviting guys back to build a camaraderie, and we all know the camaraderie in sports is pretty big. So I think he's doing an unbelievable job so far, and I look forward to his future.
It means the world to us, honestly. I mean, the fact
them coming back sharing
Mike McQuarrie threw him a lot of footballs.
Yep.
Their story, why this place so special to them, and like it just give us something else to go out there and play for. At the end of the day, it's bigger than us. We out there playing for everybody that came through before us, and we got to keep that standard up here to where Penn State should be.
It means a lot to me. You know, it's the unity that Penn State brings here. You know, they talk about family, they talk about the culture here.
You look at Armstrong Notum. Look, this is after his weight gain. Look at him, dude. He was 290 when he came in. He's 319 right now.
His name is Armstrong, bro.
Yeah, look at
him. He just looks like an Armstrong.
When he plopped out on the table when he was born, the parents knew. They were like, "This dude's gonna be."
Bro, his arms are freaking huge. Look at that.
I know. Yeah.
It's just seeing everybody from the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, and 90s coming back and still talking about that. You know, they laid the foundation for, you know, us players out here to, you know, come out and, you know, just play the game we love. So I'm really grateful for that. One thing I learned from them is, you know, enjoy the process. You know, the limited amount of time you have, you got to make it a great time. So you got to enjoy the process, you know, take everything in with your brothers, the coaches, and everything. Just keep it going.
Them coming back, sharing their story.
That's one thing about now that they can take is enjoy your time here. Be present.
Yep. And Marcus Neal, I like his attitude so far. It's been really good.
Yeah. Who's that?
There's our boy, LeVar Arrington, one of the greatest to ever do it.
DJ Dozier. Just chilling.
Who's that? That's
Anthony King.
Anthony King, okay. Yeah.
Yep. Stephen Pitts. And to me, if they dyed their hair, you know what I mean? Like they got the gray hair now.
Yeah.
But if they look at Kajana, man, he looks young. Like they all look young. Because Kajana doesn't have gray hair, you know what I mean? So
yeah.
They would still look pretty young.
Bald. He would have gray hair. He's bald, yeah. Yeah, there he is.
Look at him, man. He doesn't look like these guys are older, man. They're in their 50s and their 60s, you know. So, and then Taylor Mauser, that was a great video.
Yeah.
Intention on our aiming points.
Yeah.
All right.
I like Mauser a lot, man. He's our age.
Come on, Xfinity. Yeah.
He's our freaking age.
Don't let me down.
6 technique. Worst thing that can happen is we get beat across our face.
My coaching philosophy is to win the line of scrimmage, be violent and be physical up front.
Yeah, good. Violent Finn. You little Irishman. Can't come on the first step. Beat him across the face. Get into the green.
We want to win the line of scrimmage. We want to run the football and then be able to create explosive plays off of that however we need to.
All right, I want the intent to be the focus on this one in your mind right now. Good. Step through it. Hey, same thing coming to you.
Yeah, I think for us, we want guys that effort jumps off the tape. Guys that their last play is going to look similar to their first play.
Set your line at 6. Nice patient 3. Intentional with our blocks. Don't just go 6 by 6 to clear the read for the back. Urgency to my aiming point. Be violent. Be physical.
It's one of the best tight end schools in the country. I think you saw what those guys did in the NFL this year. It goes back a long way, and it goes back decades and decades of tight end greatness. So when Campbell told me it was Penn State, just from a tight end coach perspective, it's a dream school from being able to coach tight ends.
Inside, stick, head up. Yeah, 3-point, left hand. We're just working. He might be our most explosive guy here in this. Hey, scramble drill. Go through your progressions and get scramble drill. Play ball, play ball.
Yeah, you can't come play football here unless you're going to take pride in being a hammer and being physical and being a guy that's nasty.
Now, all right, if I'm Finn and this guy does knife across my face, boom, boom. Outside.
It's a dream come true for me to be able to go somewhere and work with people I really like, with a head coach that I love dearly, to be able to go in front of a fan base that really, really cares about what you put on the field here.
And he's a smart guy, man. He played defensive end just like Matt Campbell in college. So they both played D-end, I think. Yep. So he knows the defensive side.
I didn't know if we could.
This is on Roar Plus. If you have it, use my link below to get a referral.
Say that. I didn't know if we could say that.
Yeah, Smack on saying and he threw up, but he didn't even care. So I mean, we need our coaches to be one of us. So people that we can relate to and talk to whenever we need to. And like you said, Brett, just go to war.
What would you say like your funnest?
Brett, you said that, huh?
You said go to war, yeah.
Been here at Penn State so far.
Probably my first catch.
On the move, he found Kobe his first catch of the season. Gets him 14.
I caught like a 14-yard dig.
First catch of the season against Iowa.
Yep.
I was really geeked after that catch.
You guys know Texas football growing up?
Huh?
He said I caught a 14-yard dig route. He's like, after that, I was really geeked.
Florida boys.
What? Hey, we're not just gonna do that right now.
All right, let me finish.
Playing for him has been special, and so I'm excited that I was able to come here and get the opportunity to play for him my senior year. And I know all of us are, ecstatic to be here with him again. So.
They were talking about the difference between Texas high school football and Florida, because a couple of them were from Florida, a couple were from Texas. So yeah, funny. I think Brett Eskelson's from Texas, and then obviously Kobe Howard's from Florida. So is Rocco Beck. So
that'd be an interesting all-time team matchup.
Yeah.
Oh wow! Imagine that. That's a Joe Paterno drill right there. Better be doing Bob's drill. Future Heisman Trophy winner right there.
Yeah, Brett Eskelson's from Frisco, Texas. So that makes sense. Yep.
ZT.
Yep. Diane Tracy, one of the most athletic players on the team.
Welcome back, Letterman. You deserve to be back. And you were always welcome by the fan base. So if any of you need a place to stay, my house is open. All right, Brett, talk about recruiting, what we got right now. We don't need to pull anything up unless you want to.
Yeah.
But
No, it's all good.
What do we got going on right now?
Yeah, I mean,
there's a lot going on. A lot going on.
Yeah, there's certainly a lot going on. So I guess I can talk about some. Well, there's only one negative out of last weekend that I put it in the chat. That the defensive end, what's his name, dude? Mekhi Brown. Mekhi Brown. He talked about how great his visit was, and then he dropped his top four, top five, like a day or two later, and didn't have Penn State on it. He's from Connecticut, so that's a guy, he's 6'5" or 6'6" edge. It was a big defensive end, that type of guy who would have been perfect for Penn State. But there's some heavy hitters in the mix, man, that want to pay out some money, right? So that's what it comes down to. If money's more of a factor for him, then good luck to you. Penn State's not the place for you. If that's what you want, that's great. I hope you have a good college career, but you not coming to Penn State when Penn State has the best edge rushing history as of recently too. So like, especially recently, like of all time, they have very good history, but recently they've been going crazy. So Mekhi Brown, that one didn't make sense to me because we were in it before the visit, and then after the visit we weren't. So must have been a money thing, but that's okay. A lot of running backs. So I think this is a good topic for tonight. The running backs situation. There are like 4 main running backs that are on Penn State's board. Because remember, guys, we don't have a running back right now for 2027 because Keemon Spell decommitted, went to Georgia. So that's old news. That's fine. They can have him. Good luck to Keemon Spell. We're moving on. So now we get Gibson. Now I'm drawing blanks on names. First name.
Got Notre Dame on there.
Yeah, he's got Notre Dame. Crap. Oh, I'm gonna pull it up. It's on so I'll forget it. Aiden Gibson. Yeah, gotcha. All right. I thought about it. Aiden Gibson's from South Carolina. The recruiting staff, like Taylor Mouser, took his mom out to like dinner or something, dude, for her birthday on his visit. So it's gonna be hard to beat that, man. I'm sorry, but like, I guess he loved the visit. He loved the school. He's from Woodruff, South Carolina. He's a top 25, top 25 running back, right? So 247 has him as a top 12 running back. They're a little bit higher. It's going to be hard to get him out of South Carolina, but he had a good visit with Penn State, so you never know. So Aiden Gibson is top of the board. Top 4 running back on the board. And then you got 3 other guys that are in the mix. Give me 1 second here. It's hard to remember all these names, guys, on the... Yeah, Trey Segura. We talked about him before, Mark. Trey Segura. He's from Georgia, I believe. He's a 4-star running back as well. He's out of South Carolina. Yeah, he's out of South Carolina too. So Aiden Gibson, Trey Segura are 2 players that are on top of the board. And then Dejon Talley Rhodes. We talked about him too. I think he's a little bit closer. Second here. Yeah. Dejon Talley Rhodes is another top running back. Not as highly recruited as the other guys, but Rivals likes him. Rivals has him as a 4-star. So he's in there. You got Wisconsin in the mix, Penn State, Maryland, Washington, Minnesota. Some pretty good schools, but he's from Washington, D.C., so I can certainly see Penn State ending up in his top 4. Hopefully we can close the deal. Let's see. And then, mind you guys, they're probably going to take 2 running backs, right? So they should be able to get 1 or 2 out of these 4 guys. And the last but not least, because they're all at the top of the board. They'll take all. Gary Walker. Gary Walker is a running back out of Creekside, Georgia. So this is the one out of Georgia. Yeah, this guy's a talented 4-star running back, 6 foot 190. He's coming up. Gary Walker's coming up. If it wasn't today, it's this week. So be on the lookout for him. He's got some heavy hitters in there. He's got Clemson, Florida State, Virginia Tech's not a heavy hitter, but they're in there. Florida offered, Alabama offered, right? Like, there's some big offers in here. So he's going to have to fend them off. Yeah, I like Gary Walker a lot, though. I watched a little bit of tape on him. Good size, 6 foot 190 in high school still. Top 9 running back in Rivals, top 7 running back in 247. The only reason he's ranked 23rd as a running back is because ESPN has not ranked him yet. So ESPN is sleeping. Once they wake up, he'll be a top 10 running back. Like nothing happens. So I like Gary Walker. I like Dejon Talley-Rhodes, Tracy Garrett, and Aiden Gibson. They're all very good running backs. They're all top 10, top 15 running backs, right? That's what you need. So if we can get one or two of those guys, that'd be great. None of those are closed deals yet, but I think it was just something I should bring up tonight about running backs because we haven't talked too much about them recently. So let's see what else was going on. Oh, Kayjon Telfair. We talked about him before. I see him committing any day now. I don't, he's from Ohio. We've talked about him quite a bit. He's got a prediction in for Penn State, a crystal ball. He's a top 135 player in the country, a 91 on Rivals, 90 on 247, highly rated. Plays cornerback, so this would be quarterback number 4. The prediction machine has him at 93% to Penn State. And then you got Miami, Clemson, Michigan, some very high offers. I don't know why Ohio State didn't really go after him. That's confusing. They did offer, but maybe they came in late and he didn't like that. So he's like, I'm gonna go to Penn State. That's a place for me. So he's coming, I think, the 10th. So
well, according to Ohio State fans, because he wasn't good enough to grace their presence. So
which is hilarious because he's the top 15 cornerback, top 15 in the country. So yeah, he should be on campus this weekend. We're not done yet. John Sasek was on campus this past weekend. I think I can see him committing shortly. Offensive interior lineman. So a lot of stuff happening, guys. It's very fluid. It's moving quickly. I see us getting probably 1 to 2 commits by the weekend. Kayjon Telfair is probably going to be one of them. Like I said, we don't have a commitment date for sure for him, but Kayjon Telfair was just on campus a week and a half ago with his cousin or uncle or somebody, like extended family. Now he's coming with the whole family. So what does that mean? He waited to come with his whole family. They're going to love Penn State because how could you not, right? So he's going to show his whole family, hey, this is where I want to play ball. They're going to be like, hey, you probably should. This place is awesome. Boom, we should be able to land a commitment like that. So looking forward to that one. We're already in the top 25 in recruiting rankings, guys, which is fantastic. We only 5 commits. Matt Campbell is on a heater. Terry Smith is an outrageous lunatic when it comes to recruiting. God bless his soul. And a lot of good stuff happening. You will just have to stay tuned for Saturday for the recruiting show. Maybe we'll get a recruitment or a commitment that weekend. So we'll see.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Going through what
I jumped on 3 page. Yeah.
Has been sent in the group. We're in a good place recruiting wise. We got a bunch of crystal balls. Yep. These are guys that are star ranking. They're ranked like 4 stars, 3 stars.
Yep.
So they're up there. So that's where we're at with recruiting right now. We're still going to do the show Saturday, but I just wanted to touch on that because we've been getting a lot of good news. The train is certainly on the track for that right now. So
actually, before I forget, sorry, those linebackers, Case Alexander, Blake Benton, all the linebackers that had predictions put in months ago or a month or 2 ago, they're finally going to be on campus too. So this will be their first visit to Penn State. That could be a done deal. So be on the lookout for a linebacker commitment, cornerback commitment, possibly offensive tackle commit or offensive lineman, interior lineman, and probably others too. So it's about to really kick off. Cooper Terwillinger, that's a hard name to say. The tight end, be on the lookout for him too. Yep. Tommy Douglas.
Okay.
That's all I got. Yep. Sorry.
All right, guys. That's pretty much all we got tonight. I do want to show this, Brett, just to finish off. just to give everyone a laugh. I think you know what I'm talking about.
Getting adjusted to the morning practices, which has been good. The issues you don't get there.
Not bad. All right, so all of a sudden, Franklin is going to morning practices, which makes zero sense whatsoever. But, we're going to pull it up anyway.
Copy of Matt Campbell.
Yep. Didn't do it for 12 years at Penn State, but all of a sudden, it's a great idea. So,
getting adjusted to the morning practices, which has been good. The issues you don't get this, right? You got this beautiful weather. The day.
all right, so they're moving to morning practices. So yeah, that's a revelation down at Virginia Tech. So, Virginia Tech fans, please listen to us. You guys are cooked. Anything else, Brett?
No, I don't think so, guys.
All right. So welcome back, Letterman. And the title was Spring Ball because that's why they're here, because of spring ball and recruiting. And thank God we have a new staff. So, all right, guys, have a good night. Thanks for coming on, and we will see you again soon.
Hit up the merch shop, guys. Head it up. We are
Podcast.com. Check out Jared Miller's show, Black and Gold Mondays, on Mondays. He does elite content. Pittsburgh line is out. Brett Knows recruiting line is out. We Are line is out. Go check it out. Lesko Podcast.com. See you guys. We are Penn State.
Thanks, guys.